Once again, what's in store is coming to you from Avoyelles Parish. We're at the District Attorney's Office visiting with Charles Riddle, the DA. And the first couple of days of this week, we've talked about prosecution.
Right.
And today we're going to give an overview of how this department works relative to civil matters.
Right. In fact, a lot of people aren't aware that the District Attorney's Office is charged with representing public bodies in the parish, parish-wide public bodies. We don't represent municipalities, but we represent the police jury, we represent the school board, we represent the public hospital in Bunkie, we represent some water systems, and other bodies like the airport authority that are basically parish-wide in nature. And the interesting part of that, it's a totally different aspect of getting away from the courtroom, prosecuting crimes, by being their advisor in certain issues. Now, there are situations where they may have insurance and they hire an independent attorney to represent them in those cases. But for instance, like the police jury, we're there for their meetings, we discuss the legal issues with them, and there are many with the police jury, quite a few issues, sometimes lawsuits filed against them, but we are their legal representative.
That's interesting, because I think of the DA's office, and I think of you guys going after people, not defending people, and that's what your role is.
Correct, or advising them to make sure they don't get caught up in having to defend them.
Right.
For instance, with the school board, probably the biggest case that we're faced with now is the desegregation lawsuit that had been filed in 1965 and re-urged in 1988 when the consolidation of schools took place. We're now at the end of the unitary process of representing the school board, where what's known as green factors. There are 6 green factors that must be met, and 4 of them have been met. One of them is before the court for the 5th one, and we're scheduled in December for the 6th one, which is assignments. So hopefully we'll be able to have the schools declared unitary and continue to represent them, but in other issues besides just the desegregation.
So what's the benefit of them being declared unitary?
Well, right now, if we want to build a school, build a building, we have to go to federal court to get approval. Okay. If we want to make improvements in excess of $30,000 on a particular building, we have to go to the court for court approval of that. Anything that is major on the part of the school board has to be passed by the school board first, and then federal court approval has to be sought after that. And it's a long process, and it's just to make sure that we're not running a dual system. Not one for minorities, one for the majority. We want to have a school system that's unitary. We have 3 assistants that assist me. One of them handles the school board, one of them handles the police jury, and then my first assistant handles the defense work if a suit is filed. And I'm heavily involved in going to the meetings and also in the desegregation suit.
And that wraps up today's edition of What's in Store. We're in Avoyelles Parish at the District Attorney's Office.